Hey guys, it's Erica and
Allie.
And we have little Brett with us here today. We are going to go in depth on bathing your new bulldog puppy. We are here at my kitchen sink, obviously. If you guys would prefer to do bathing in the bathtub, and obviously that's something that will happen once your bulldog gets bigger, that is totally fine. If you guys have a wash style sink in your laundry room, that is perfect too. You want to remember before you start the bathing process that you have everything that you need right here at the sink, so that you are not having to leave your puppy or carry your puppy around wet. So you want to make sure you've got all of the items necessary to start giving your puppy a bath. In the sink here, we do have a bath mat that has been cut and fit to our sink. So you want to make sure that the surface that you're using is something that your puppy is not going to slip on. You don't want them slipping and sliding all over your bathtub. So whether it be your bathtub or, you know, a larger sink or just your kitchen sink, make sure you have something down, even if it's just a washcloth or a towel. Make sure that you that they're not slipping. We're gonna set the water down for just a second. So I also have my towel here. I have a brush. I've got my ear wash, and then I also have the shampoo that we're using. As you can notice, Brett still has on his collar. If you guys would like something to be able to hold on to while you are bathing your puppy, it's totally fine to leave the collar on. If you would prefer to take it off, that's fine too. For today, we are actually going to go ahead and take his collar off and set it aside. So then the next thing that you want to do, which we've had the water running for a little bit, you want to make sure that your temperature is correct. You don't want it to be too cold or too warm. You want it to be just kind of right in the middle, as you would for a baby, something lukewarm. Obviously bath time gets very interesting here. We're gonna not splash water everywhere for our video. Okay, so once your temperature is where it should be, which is lukewarm, it shouldn't be cold on your hand, and it shouldn't be hot at all. You can go ahead and put your puppy in. I actually like to move the water into the other half of the sink. That way he's not going to stick his face right underneath the faucet. Luckily, we do have a sprayer on. Okay, hang on just a second. We do have a sprayer on our sink, which comes in really handy. If by chance you don't, or you're using your bathtub, you can just use a cup to get him wet. But you are wanting to stay from the neck down when you're using a cup or a sprayer. You really do want to make sure you're staying away from the face area and also from the ears. Excess water in the ears that stays in there can cause, you know, a mild ear infection and things like that. You also want to stay away from the nostrils so that he is not inhaling water. So I'm going to go ahead and get him wet, and then Ellie is actually going to fill up a cup of water so she can help me here. But hang on just a second till Mommy says it's okay, all right? So you're going to go ahead and start getting the main part of his body wet.
Water.
Hang on just a second. You're going to start, which obviously your puppy is going to want to move around, so you got to hold on to him with your hand. But start with getting his whole entire body wet from the neck down. Once you get him pretty well wet, you can go ahead and get and we're talking a tiny bit when it comes to a puppy, just a little bit in your hand. We are using Perfect Coat today. That is typically the brand that we use for all of our puppies. Obviously there are numerous types of shampoo out there. You know, we recommend quite a few, but when it comes to all of our puppies, we do use Perfect Coat, which you can get at any pet store. They make all different kinds, and so far we have liked them all. So you're going to start on his body, and then you're going to make sure you clean all the areas, including his paws and his belly, his underbelly, making sure to stay away from his face. Just so you're not getting shampoo or anything. We typically don't use shampoo on our bulldogs' faces unless absolutely necessary. Yep, you can go ahead. Stay from there down. Unless absolutely necessary, if they get really dirty. What we actually like to do is, you know, bathe them from the neck down, and then we use a washcloth on their face. And that is really just the safest way when it comes to bathing them. So that you're not getting that excess water. So I'm actually going to get the sprayer here and get the rest of the soap off. Do remember, and I'll put up some tips as well. I'll put a little list at the end of the video Here, help mama. That you want to make sure you're not using too much shampoo. Bulldogs are more prone to their skin getting dried out. And so you do want to make sure that you're just using a very, very small amount. When it comes to bathing, you know, as a puppy, they may need bathed more often just with potty training and playing outside. You know, an adult bulldog, it's really just as necessary, or maybe twice a month, so that you're not drying out their skin. You always have those random occasions though where you have, you know, playing in a mud puddle or something that you've got to do a bath, which is totally fine. So we've got all of his shampoo rinsed off. That is something else you really want to make sure you do get it rinsed off so that it doesn't irritate their skin, you know, once they're dry. So we're going to finish up here as our little guy is getting a little bit on the chilly side. All right, so we've got our little guy all wrapped up here. We do prefer just to use a warm towel to dry off our puppies. I know some people do like getting their bulldogs used to the blow dryer, which is fine, but I do just caution you guys to be careful with that. Make sure that your blow dryer is not getting too hot that you could actually burn your bulldog, or you know, just make sure that you have it on a lower setting, just to be cautious. Just once again as a tip, because I know it happens all the time, make sure that you have your towel sitting right next to your sink. You don't want to be having to carry your bulldog puppy to your bathroom or wherever you keep your towels while they're cold and wet, and so make sure you do have that right beside you. This is also a perfect time for you guys to do the rest of your grooming, as far as cleaning ears, clipping toenails, you know, also brushing. That stuff I will go into greater detail in another video about the products and just tips and techniques that we do. But I think that's all for our bathing process today. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask or comment below. But other than that, we're going to go get this little guy warm, and we'll see you again later.